Hello, welcome to Introspection with Jeff. I have three topics I'd like to present in this short video, hopefully short video. I like to talk about the meeting tent. I like to talk about upcoming improvements to the channel, and I'd like to talk about upcoming ideas for future videos. First things first, the meeting tent. I had, in an earlier video, recent video, I explained the structure of the Pentateuch according to the hidden structure of it, according to the website Chaver, CHAVER.com. The author of the website is pretty persuasive in explaining how it works. I plan to explain it anyway, but there was a text message I received from an old friend that gave me an impetus to rush it forward and explain what I knew so far. And it's always awkward to do something like that. This of course is not a website, fortunately. This is a book called The Alphabet That Changed the World, and it is, it's Stan Tenen. I was wondering about that, Tenen. His website, he's now deceased, so if perhaps I'm correct in my thinking about the afterlife, perhaps he knows the answers to all this and more. I'd certainly like to talk with him, if I could prove that it's him. Anyway, the website still exists. It's meru.org, M-E-R-U. I believe that's named after a mythical mountain. But anyway, he has several different elements related to it. His thing is that the Hebrew alphabet, the lettering, the shapes of the letters in the Hebrew alphabet are really hand gestures, shadows of natural instinctive hand gestures of humans, and it goes further than that. He correlates it to bits of text in Kabbalistic literature. It's somewhat persuasive. One of the fascinating things is that if you take the first line of Genesis, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it quickly. The first line of Genesis, you can make a spiral. You put each letter in sequence, like for example on a bead, and the beads on a string, and you coil the string around. You notice that they're repeating letters and that they match up, and that in some letter combinations that aren't double, they do match up numerically in terms of a variation on gematria. In other words, it's a base 3 numbering system. You take all the letters in the alphabet and you apply a base 3 numbering system, and you find that this letter will be assigned a number that's a mirror image of this number, these two letters being right next to each other in this spiral pattern. And then from that, somehow I don't remember exactly, but the thumb, I believe, is the center of this spiral, and the spiral can wrap around in his impression, his proposal, it wraps around the thumb, and the outer side wraps around the fingers. And he talks about that. He characterizes that as the flame, and then there's somehow he explains there's a pyramidal structure, and that the flame is within the pyramidal structure, and he proposed that that's the meeting tent with the flame, and that's the flame that Moses would go in and encounter Yud He Vav He. You may remember the Exodus in the 5 books of Moses. There's a campsite, and there'd be a tent of meeting, literally called the tent of meeting, where Moses would go in and commune with Yud He Vav He. So that's that. I would have liked to have gone further into detail, but I felt so rushed. I wanted to get this other thing out there, the structure of the Pentateuch, the cross, Exodus, Numbers, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Genesis, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy in there. And I also, I found, unfortunately, so that's the meeting tent. Moving on to improvements to the website. I found, unfortunately, that a few videos, fortunately, it looks like only a couple of the most recent videos suffered an audio sync. In other words, my movements were out of sync with the voice, and it had to happen. The one that was dedicated to this friend had to suffer from it. But fortunately, I reached out on Facebook, and somebody said that she may be able to take the video and work with it on software she has and resync it. It shouldn't be that difficult. It just requires software that, frankly, I don't think I have, and it's so much trouble for me to be able to work on it on my own. I'd rather hand it off to somebody else who can be able to do it, and I'll continue improving and working on this this channel. Okay, that's it. And she said she would. I believe she said she could work on it tomorrow. I'm not holding her to that, but just to let the rest of you know that hopefully it can be able to be done quickly and re-uploaded correctly. Okay, improvements coming up for the new version of the channel. I want to have an intro. I've been a long time watcher of other YouTube channels, and they have very elaborate intros. So perhaps you can. This is a good excuse for you to please give me comments. Put comments below, or wherever currently YouTube has their comments. Right now it's being put below the video. Because again, I've only had 2 comments to my channel, one per video. Alright, so the intro. I already have a name, and I also thought of having a 30-second or some kind of short highlight commercial. I would think maybe a commercial or something. I'm sorry. I was trying to talk over my iPhone, which is ringing right now. Good. It didn't announce anybody. It didn't announce who's calling or whatever. Hopefully. All right. I'm not distracted. Okay. I want to make YouTube Shorts to advertise the channel. Now, as I understand it, there's a limit of only like 30 seconds, and I thought, what videos could I do to this channel, which is primarily a self-reflective channel by its very nature. It's a channel that has videos that can be extensive. I'm someone who likes to talk and explain and elaborate. I don't think I can do that in 30 seconds. However, I can I can edit together like an upcoming commercial. I could use it to promote the topic coming up. You know, like they would do in television. Coming up next week on X-Files. Coming up, you know, tune in next week on Star Trek: The Next Generation, and it would give a promo and some highlights of the episode coming up, with some kind of a plot or somewhat of a summary. So maybe I could do something like that. I could have just enough time to give some short promo about the topic coming up. I also want to get a separate external hard drive. Somebody at work suggested a terabyte hard drive. That seems pretty good because this encounter I had where the audio was out of sync implies that maybe I'm running out of storage space or processing speed, something like that. Right now I have a folder on my desktop with all my videos, and I don't want to, I want some sort of backup from all my videos. I don't trust YouTube to maintain them for me, maintain the only copies for me. So that's any ideas I'm willing to accept for an intro. I already have the name for my channel. I don't think I need to change that. I like the name. I'm going to add perhaps promos, something like 30 seconds, however long a YouTube short is. Now on to upcoming topics. One certainly is I'd like another chance to dress up in drag as Samantha, and that coincides with another topic I'd like to do. In terms of cross-dressing, there are two things I'd like to mention. One is I've wanted to talk about what I would call the masculine mystique. There's a famous, I can't remember the author, it was a Gloria Steinem. Somebody wrote The Feminine Mystique, but I've wanted for a while to write, although that's not necessarily what she was getting at with the feminine mystique. I'd like to explain the masculine mystique, meaning what is the world like from a masculine point of view. And that kind of goes along with my channel because I'm male and I see things, I'm sure I see things from a masculine point of view. And that's why partly why I'm interested in cross-dressing, because if I can be able to pass, I don't know if I can pass, but, well, if I work at it, maybe I can be able to pass and be able to experience things from a female point of view as best as possible. I know I voiced this on another channel and I've gotten a little bit of feedback saying, well, you can never really experience something from a female point of view because you're not female. I know that. But perhaps I can try and pass well enough so that I can be able to get some inkling about it. And that gets me to, that was number one, that gets me to the other aspect of this upcoming topic for a video. There's a fascinating video I saw on YouTube where this man volunteered to go in and have a mask, like a rubber mask specially created to put over his face to blend in and have his features be more feminine. He was taught how to walk more femininely. They created a whole disguise, a whole outfit for him. And he walked into I think it was a cafe. He walked into a cafe, and his parent, I know I mentioned this before on the channel, somewhere in one of the videos. One of his parents came in and didn't even recognize him. He went into a nightclub. Of course, granted, it was dark and lights flashing everywhere, so it was kind of disorienting, and played well to him being able to blend in. He got some phone numbers. Some guys gave him phone numbers. Now, the reason I bring that up is that it was an experiment to enable him to feel or experience what it's like from a female point of view. And I'll go through, I'll create this video, I'll post it, and I'll go through YouTube afterwards and see if I can find that video and place it in the description. I hope you've been looking at my descriptions, because that's another thing I've added. Sometimes I've added hashtags, and that should help me in terms of my visibility for the channel. And I'll work at that some more. I also want to maintain an episode guide for the whole channel and keep it on that external hard drive. That's another improvement to the channel. It'll have all the episode numbers in chronological order of when they were uploaded to YouTube. And typically, they're also in order of creation. That may change as I become more sophisticated. I may have several videos being edited or being worked on simultaneously. But for right now, all of the videos have been uploaded chronologically, basically meaning that as soon as I created the video, I was eager to upload it and add it to YouTube. So I will have all the numbers and all the titles for the videos, and then even I should add a summary beneath each title. It's like a real, it's getting to be like a real episode guide for a TV show. And I grew up with TV shows and episode guides and so forth, and I always wanted to create my own TV show. So this is some exercise in doing so. And also the upload date, the original upload date. Now, as I become more sophisticated, I want to create like a part 1 and part 2, part 3. That's what I began doing with this channel. You may notice that my first few videos have such and such topic, part 1, and then the same topic, part 2, part 3. Like, for example, when I was describing the elements in my Madonna movie project, I had part 1, part 2, part 3. I think it was all the way up to part 5. And then at some point, other topic ideas came in, and it kind of clouded it a bit. Like, for example, right now, I've kept you all at a cliffhanger because I created a video about the methodology I had in my story writing up until the Creative Artists Agency rejection letter. And then that was when I ended the video, and I plan to make a part 2 onward covering my writing techniques and methodology and my kind of what I had thought of as my writer's block, for lack of any other phrase to label it. Trying to identify and figure out what delayed me. Were there, again, the whole point of this channel, self-reflection. What was within me that caused me to delay? Maybe it wasn't within me at all. Maybe there were some elements within me that were making it difficult for me to write the story. Maybe the story itself was difficult to write. As I said before in an earlier video I uploaded this afternoon, Madonna, I thought of Madonna in a more positive light and then in a more like controlling negative light, and it was difficult to portray her accurately without, I was teetering on how much positive light and how much negative light. Maybe that was part of it. That was in the video I uploaded about like disillusionment with somebody you looked up to or admired. So I mentioned the cross-dressing topic I have in mind. Of course, I have that. I want to do that part 2 of the Madonna, the overall writing project, which largely involves the Madonna project. That's another topic. I also still have in mind to do more of a documentary on the Pentateuch, covering both the structure of it and that meeting tent aspect that I was talking about. I also want to talk about my early memories that involve some self-reflection before I go and record the video. I want to do a video about my mom's apparent schizophrenia, hearing voices and so forth. And there are other video topics to come, but wanted to get this out there. It's already about 21 minutes. So I wish you all well, and please, you participate too. Improve the channel, add comments so that I can be able to improve the channel. Add comments, tell me what you think about these different topics. Spread the word, tell more people about this channel. Tell me how I can improve. I know I say a lot of ums and ahs and so forth, and I do want to add more visual graphics. I see there, I said an already. I'd like to have more sophisticated software, more sophisticated editing software, more sophisticated graphic software. That being said, I'll see you next time. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.